Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Justin here with another creator commentary. We are talking about the coloring sheet I did for this year's Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Month, which features the subject of mothers, honoring Asian American mothers. And this is coming off of a year or 2 years where I did a series of sheets that sort of reflected the times that we were living in. Certainly, talking about all the Asian hate crimes that were going on, which were in response to the COVID-19 pandemic. And for this year, I wanted to focus on something a little lighter. And I actually suggested doing something for Mother's Day. Last year, I watched this documentary on Amazon Prime that focused on Asian American heroes and figures in history, and it was really fascinating. And this name came up, Toi Len Gun, and her story was very interesting to me. She was an immigrant from China that came to America with her husband and had a laundromat, and she had 8 children. And then in 1952 she was named the American Mother of the Year. And that little segment in that documentary captured my imagination. The story of this immigrant woman who came to America, ran a business, raised her 8 children, so much so that it got attention from the state that she was living in, which was Maine, and then got national attention, and got to meet the president, and was deemed this honor of being named the American Mother of the Year. So when it came time to think up a coloring sheet for this year, the contact over at the Chicago Public Library told me the theme, which was healing, mourning, and remembering. And I felt like the last 2 years, those themes, which were very broad, were done before. So I pitched them something for Mother's Day and showcasing this figure, Toi Len Gun, American Mother of the Year. So that was my pitch. He took it to the committee at the Chicago Public Library, and they came back and said, yeah, that's real cool. And they said, when you do your draft, let's put in some things like a bouquet of flowers, tea, some incense, and let's go from there. I focused on the historical figure of Toi Len Gun, and then I had her sitting with some flowers, and I used a lot of photo reference so I can nail the face just right, because I didn't want it to come off as a caricature either. I didn't want to exaggerate like the eyes or the nose or anything. I wanted it to come off looking very sweet, and I think I did a good job here in that sense. When it came to the other elements, I wanted to add a lot of texture in there so that they didn't feel hollow. I wanted kids to be able to color the lettering, as well as the different types of clothing that I had hanging up on the laundry lines. And inking all this steam and incense and all these different natural elements was really fun for me. I like adding all this different line on the page. It really helps fill the page, make it feel a lot grander in scope. And again, inking Toi was a challenge as well, because I wanted to, make enough lines and texture in there to really show how old she was, but also have her looking like a sweet Asian grandmother, which I think I achieved without it being too much of a caricature. And then the suggestion for the bouquet of flowers was they wanted carnations. And if you ever seen a carnation, it has a lot of folds and layers. And so that was really fun to fill because it just added even more texture and varied line weight throughout the whole piece. And I think it came together really nicely. I was very proud of this one, especially because I was the one who pitched it to them and that they liked it. And it got a good response from people. I had someone message me on Instagram saying that they loved the sheet and it reminded them of their grandmother and their mom. And I thought that was really sweet. So I hope you enjoyed this creator commentary. You had a wonderful Mother's Day and a wonderful Asian American Native Hawaiian Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So take care, and we will see you on the next.